Hey, Onion here, continuing our playthrough of Final Fantasy XIV, main story quest, fast play. We are checking all cutscenes and listening to all MSQ text out loud. This is done because I have pretty bad eyesight, so it's hard for me to read, plus dyslexia hasn't been helping, so I'm finally doing this to enjoy the story. Right now we are working on figuring out how to get to Garuda.
But to the matter at hand, did you say you wish not to conduct field observations, but to harvest a corrupted crystal? Egads, woman. At least take the necessary precautions so that you do not suffer from exposure to its harmful energies. I'm beginning to wonder if you've sufficient qualifications to handle such hazardous materials. Still, your ignorance is somehow endearing. Luckily for you, I have precisely the means by which these inherent dangers may be averted. Simply store the crystal you seek within this warded pot to protect yourself from its deleterious effects. Though I suppose you will be bombarded with its energies until you place it within the vessel. Well, perhaps it shall motivate you to work quickly. In any case, take the pot to Hahasako, a student of mine monitoring the flow of ether at Highbridge. Explain to him your quest, and he shall instruct you in the finer points of crystal harvesting. How many times must I be made to explain myself? I am not contemplating suicide, you imbecile. I have chosen this precise position to perform scientific measurements. What have we here? A containment vessel. Why, this is the handiwork of Professor Lambertaint. You thieving knave, I shall call for the— Oh, you say the man himself lent it to you. Then you must have sought me out per his instruction, which means he believes me experienced enough to expound upon his explanations. At last, the recognition I so rightfully deserve. Oh frabjous Clue. Calais. That I should be chosen to guide this woman. Yes, I, Hahasako, greatest of Professor Lambertaint's pupils, shall see that you successfully quarry your quarry. Your timing is impeccable, in fact, for I was just preparing to procure corrupted crystals from the burning wall for my personal research. There, the devastating destruction caused by the calamity has blessed us with a bounty of sublime specimens, but something tells me that naught but a perfect peace will satisfy your high standards. In which case, you must needs descend to the deepest depths. Amidst the flowing waters and the murderous Mirranites lies the most fantastic formation I have found thus far. Take this highly advanced researcher's tool and use it to separate a small fragment from the large cluster. Place it within the warded pot and bear it back to me for inspection. The path which leads from Burgundy Falls to the base of the burning wall is treacherous and terrifying, but advance with appropriate caution and you shall surely survive. I see you've come glumping back. Have you the crystal then? What a prodigiously large and lovely crystal. Professor Lambertaint will doubtless chortle with joy when you present it to him in person. Oh, and upon your return, do remember to recount how I helped you with your harvesting. My keen scholar's sense tells me that you've obtained a corrupted crystal. Am I right? If you would grant me a moment to examine the crystal. Ah, it is as you desired. A corrupted crystal overflowing with wind-aspected ether. Remind me, for what purpose did you intend to use this crystal again? What? To breach a barrier comprised of wind-aspected ether? Oh dear. That may prove problematic, as this crystal would only serve to strengthen the barrier. I suppose I am at fault for not inquiring as to your objectives from the start. Had I known your intent, I would have never sent you to Hahasako. But what is science if not trial and error? And can you truly say that this failure has taught you nothing? Think, woman, you now understand the methods necessary to safely collect a corrupted crystal. You will doubtless have no difficulty doing so once more. What's more, the crystal you collected can serve as an invaluable resource for the ethereal studies conducted by the students of Baldesian. You've heard of them? Well, I don't mean to boast, but I have a professional relationship with the organization. Not as equals, of course, I would never be so bold as to claim that level of expertise. Are you all right? Your eyes seem to have glazed over for a moment. Anyway, I shan't keep you from your task. You've still a corrupted crystal to find. Corrupted crystals of sufficient size and strength are not all that common, I fear. Fortunately, one of my other students, Siana, claims to have discovered another promising site in eastern La Noscea. Wait, that's not correct. Eastern La Noscea was where she was nearly killed when wandering too close to an imperial castrum. Ha ha, now that made for an amusing anecdote. It was western La Noscea, Farah Sirius, on the Isles of Umbra, to be precise. I can't recall her exact reasoning, something to do with one of Delamud's talons or some such nonsense. What I can say for certain is that she is still in Alaport, attempting to gain access to the Isles. Why not travel there and see if Siana's inquiries bear fruit? If you can look past the crass and violent ways of the local pirates, you might find your time there to be quite pleasurable. Shift warded pot, lest she think you unprepared for the task.
Corrupted crystals? Madam, I've no interest in being the butt of your jokes, so if you've no other reason for addressing me, kindly leave me be. Well, I'll be damned, Professor Lambertaint did send you. Beg your pardon, it seems we got off on the wrong foot. I'm Siana, greatest of the professor's pupils, which is doubtless why he bid you seek me out. Indeed, I am an accomplished scholar with an extensive background in. Oh gods, just listen to me prattle on and on. I must have given this introduction a dozen times by now. As I told the professor in my many missives, I believe that the area surrounding Pharos Sirius is replete with corrupted crystals of exceptional strength. Unfortunately, I've yet to test my hypothesis, as all access to the Isles of Umbra is prohibited at present, for reasons unknown to me. You see, my attempts to acquire this information are often met with annoyance and disdain. It's rather puzzling, since I always take the time to explain my motivations in great detail to the subjects of my questioning. Mayhap you will have better luck wresting information from these yellow jackets. I've all but given up at this point. Ah, you startled me. Don't you know better than to sneak up on a person at a time like this, what with all this fatuous gossip of spirits and spectres haunting the Isles of Umbra? Just because I know it's nonsense doesn't make it any less frightening.
You're keen on travel into the Isles of Umbra? Bloody elves, lass, are ye drunk or you crazy? Ain't nothing there but death, death, and more death. The Isles of Umbra? What interest have you in that god's-forsaken place? Ever since we were forced to abandon Pharos Sirius, the Isles have become not more than a graveyard for ships unable to navigate the shores, and a purgatory for the souls dragged down to the depths with them.
Ah, Onion, you've returned. Tell me of your findings. Really? Infested with the undead, you say? That is a very, very interesting development. Excuse me for a moment while I gather my thoughts. Worry not, my friend. I've given your findings some thought, and I've concluded that this talk of spirits is not more than local folklore. As for why all travel to the Isles of Umbra is restricted, well, mayhap it's considered too dangerous, owing to the abandonment of Pharos Sirius. Yes, well, anyway, while you were questioning those yellow jackets, I paid a visit to the local pub, since even an esteemed scholar like myself enjoys dulling her wits on occasion. It was there that I heard tell of a man named Skyfrin, who was recently detained after returning from, wait for it, the Isles of Umbra. This is the first I've heard of someone actually traveling to and from there, so I'm curious as to how he obtained permission. Mind having a chat with him in my stead? He was arrested, after all, so I'm somewhat reticent to approach him myself.
I have to go back. She calls to me, sings to me, uck. Tell Mimidoa I'm sorry. Give him this. He was right. Or you could release me? Yes, release me. I will go and tell her. Let me go to her.
What did Skyfrin have to say? That's not terribly helpful. I couldn't care less how much he misses his favorite bar wench. But what was that about a man named Mimidoa? Wait, I know that name. That's that bastard who grabbed my ass the other day at the pub. Well, if you want to give him that feather, be my guest. I'm not going anywhere near him and his wandering hands.
Another initiate, are ye? No? Then what are ye? Speak up, missy, I can't hear you. Eh? Bugger me, is this what I think it is? Nah, couldn't be. Ye found this, ye say? Where'd ye say ye found it? Skyfrin, ye say? Was hoping to have a word with the lad, but it sounds like there's naught left twixt his ears. He was supposed to help patch up Pharos Sirius, he was. Company sent me to supervise the lot of them. Weren't getting work done on their own. See, half of them walked off, half of them ran off, and half of them up and vanished. What's that? Ye be looking fair passage to the Isles of Umbra? Why didn't ye say so? I've been thinking of dispatching someone to take a look on behalf of old Mimidoa. Tell him how the land lies. Ain't nobody been interested till you came a-callin'. Whole port's up in arms about spirits and so forth. If I had the gill, I'd hire some sellswords and let 'em sort it out. But ye'll do in a pinch, ye will. Show this parchment to the skipper and he'll see ye there and back.
So you went and had a word with Mimidoa. I hope the valuable time you saw fit to waste amounted to something. You mean that disgusting creature was Skyfrin's superior? I find that hard to believe. But this writ of passage does appear to be genuine, so it must be true. I must say, it is a relief to work with such an industrious woman as you. I look forward to hearing of the discoveries you will make on the Isles of Umbra, without me. Fine. I fail to see the justification for dragging me along on your journey, but if you insist, I will go as well. But 12 as my witness. If you leave me behind to be devoured by some horrid abomination, I shall come back to haunt you.
Ha! Take me to the Isles of Umbra, she bids. As if it's as simple as, oh, I see you've got a writ of passage. All right, then, climb aboard.
This doesn't seem all that bad. I'm not saying I'd like to build a summer home here, but, oh, the hell's with this. Here, take your pot and go on without me. You've harvested corrupted crystals before, right? So it isn't as though you require my assistance. Speak to the man guarding the gate, I'm sure he'll let you in. Now, if you would please excuse me.
Beg your pardon, madam, but how did you come here? Access to this island is currently restricted. An old pot? I'm not sure I follow. Oh, I see. You wish to harvest a corrupted crystal. Sorry, friend, but you may have to return empty-handed. The writ Master Mimidoa gave you may grant you access to the island, but only authorized personnel may proceed past this point. Why, you ask? Look up and see for yourself. When that giant mass of crystal struck the lighthouse, it caused severe damage to both the structure and the machinery within that once powered the beacon. Contrary to what the small folk would have you believe, the fires of Ferros Sirius were not the product of a mage's thaumaturgy or a colossal arcane bomb, but an elaborate contraption fueled by ethereal energy. Repairs are still ongoing, but it's anyone's guess when they'll be complete. What's worse, all work has ceased since rumors of the Walking Dead drove off our entire crew. Not that those rumors are incorrect, I've observed the fiends from a distance, at the ship graveyard to the south. What's drawn them to our shores is still a mystery, though. I'll make you a deal, Onion. Help me unravel this mystery, and I'll bring you your corrupted crystal. In fact, I shall begin searching for one that satisfies your requirements. As for where to begin your inquiries into the situation, it so happens that a party of 3 adventurers came ashore not long ago, seeking to scavenge valuable trinkets at the ship graveyard. I'd be surprised if they knew nothing of the undead infestation, so it might behoove you to question them. It's all their fare the taken. 5 bleeding years worth of wrecks in their cargo. But thosh queer dead things, and that voice. Actually, the voice was quite nice. You saw 'em too, right? Dead people. Just shambling about, without a care in the world. Except when they do seem to care, that is, and start shuffling towards the water. Gods, that voice, that single fleeting verse. I can still hear it. Stay clear of the southern shore, friend. It took every ounce of my strength to resist. This talk of an alluring voice is disturbingly familiar, as if. But that's impossible, they're all dead, aren't they? But if they have returned, that would mean, oh, beg your pardon, I was just, thinking about something. Which reminds me, I received word that Master Mimidoa would be arriving any moment. Apparently, he grew frustrated waiting for the sweet young lass with skin as soft as Phoenix down to return, which I'm assuming is you. I don't know what sort of arrangement you had, but you should probably go and explain yourself. What's been keeping ye, Initiate? I ain't getting any younger, ye know. Eh? Some honey-voiced harlot's been calling out to folk what wander near the ship graveyard? And it stirred up the dead and all? Bloody hells. This takes me back to me days as a cannon boy, sailing under ol' Mistbeard, but they wouldn't dare, would they? Not after the lesson we learned 'em last time. Bah, they bloody would, though, wouldn't they, brazen ol' biddies. Some folk said as the first purge would be the last, but I knew deep down in me bones as this day would come. And come it has. I bet me bum you're a siren's behind all this. Nay, not one of the sanguine variety, Initiate. I speak of the other kind, them what's got feathers, and lure sailors to a watery grave with their sweet song. Oh, but it don't end there. No, drowning's just the start. See, even in death, a man stays bound to the beast, forced to do her bid until his corpse can't do it no more. 'Tis a fate I wouldn't wish on me worst enemy, 'cept maybe in drink, and I'd regret it after. Any road, 'tis up to us to stop this hell's born hussy afore she takes another soul. Course, we can't send ye marching off to war without these. The siren don't have no power or a man as can't hear her song. 'Tis lucky fair you I carry a spare pair, and lucky fair the both of us I'm a superstitious old sod, eh? Well, she ain't coming to us, so we'd best head or to her. To the ship graveyard, Initiate. If she passes near the shore, she's sure to spy the campfire and come looking. Just a matter of waiting, now. Humph. I'm beginning to wonder if some sly bugger ain't spun us a yarn, here. Quiet. Do you hear that? 'Tis her. Look. Out o'er the water. She's come, Initiate. She's come. Quick, lass, shove them plugs in your ears. And get ready for a fight. Soon as she realizes you're deaf to her ditties, she'll call on her thralls, and we'll be up to our necks in corpses afore you know it. Hither, embrace, mine everything, all ... True love spurned, her cruelties reward ... Cast out, callous soul, dead to desire ... Spare, mournful mistress, distress ... Melody, last breath, of death, the rhythm ... Dost thou not, to relent, regret, forever alone ... My love, a river, one look, soul shiver ... No more, dark, eclipse, the heart ... Eh? Am I alright? Ha! I'm better in that, initiate. Happy as a sailor in a whorehouse, I am, course, I'd be happy as a sailor with two whatsits if we gutted the songstress, but ye can't have everything, can ye? She'll not come croonin' round here again, though, not for a while, any road. And if she does, well, we know what to do, don't we? Thanks for the help, Bugger me, I've clean forgot your name. Remind me. Onion? Don't recall having no initiate by that name. But if you're not me ol' mate, wha's name, why've ye been so bloody helpful? Never mind. Be seein' ye, lassie. You mean it was a siren? But how were you able to resist her song? I see. I had heard that Master Mimidoa was involved in the first purge, but I never actually. Having survived an ordeal like that, I can't blame him for carrying earplugs around with him. Anyway, I have something for you. The corrupted crystal you wanted, safely sealed within the pot, just as you requested. Please, take it with my compliments.
Oh, it's you. Welcome back, Onion. You're looking remarkably hale, I must say, and, more importantly, alive. You are alive, aren't you? Aha. The conquering hero returns bearing a gift. Might I have a closer look? Impressive, very impressive indeed. Yes, I think you'll be quite pleased with this specimen. Congratulations, Onion. Seldom if ever have I encountered a corrupted crystal composed of such a volatile overabundance of fire-aspected ether. What? You wanted a corrupted crystal composed of ice-aspected ether to counteract the effects of a raging wind? Ha. Well, this specimen won't help you there. Anyone who knows anything about the elements could tell you that. You'll just have to keep looking, I suppose. Don't fret. Now, I know exactly where to find a corrupted crystal comprised of ice-aspected ether. An associate of mine in Gridania has been studying the effects of one such crystal on living beings. Eh? What's with that expression? I thought you would be pleased to hear this news. This is not another wild dodo chase, I assure you. And what's even better is that this time, you needn't use that warded pot of yours to protect yourself from this crystal's energies. Hedon's findings suggest that it is quite safe. Why, you ask? Well, Let's just say that it has undergone a unique process that has rendered such precautions unnecessary. Anyway, do not let me keep you. It has been a pleasure, Onion. Come back and see me sometime, alright?
Greetings and salutations. Miss Full Play, I presume? Sienna informed me of your adventures in Alaport. Terribly sorry about the misunderstanding. Though, as Professor Lambertaine is fond of saying, no action taken in the name of science is ever truly wasteful. To the matter at hand, corrupted crystals possessing the properties you seek could be found in abundance at the standing course following the calamity. Alas, that is no longer the case, and while there is at least one suitable crystal that remains to be found within the 12-swood, precisely where it is at any given moment is more difficult to say. Permit me to explain. You are familiar with Spriggans, yes? The furry little rascals that are wont to seek out ores and other stones? Well, one such creature with an infamously insatiable appetite has single-handedly devoured every corrupted crystal in the 12-swood. Fortunately for you, these crystals take an eternity to digest, assuming they can even be digested, and I am reasonably confident that one still resides within his gut. It's quite fascinating, really. My theory is that this Giggity first consumed a corrupted crystal when. You couldn't care less about all this, could you? To the point, then. Giggity seldom makes his presence felt unless there is particularly fine fodder to be had. Therefore, we shall require a lure, and I have precisely the sort he will find impossible to resist. Simply place this true heart. I shall save the story of the origin of its unusual name for another occasion, outside of the Spriggan's lair, and wait for the opportune moment to pounce. As for the method by which you retrieve the crystal from his gut, I shall leave that to your discretion. Ah. Pray do not sneak up on me like that. I was engrossed in, wait, what is that? What is that God's awful smell? My word, that is a breathtakingly beautiful crystal. I see my supposition was not mistaken. Ugh. And I also see you weren't averse to digging through Spriggan entrails for your prize. We owe our furry friend a debt of gratitude, you know. This thick coating of digestive juices is protecting us from the harmful effects of the crystal, just as the warded pot you once used did. Why so glum, friend? You've finally obtained the corrupted crystal you sought, one overflowing with earth-aspected ether. Calm down, I jest. It is comprised of ice-aspected ether, worry not. I suppose that joke was in poor taste, considering your previous 2 attempts were for naught. Beg your pardon, Onion, I forgot to return your crystal to you. Oh, and there was a message for you from Professor Lambertaine. Something about a man named Marx? Apparently the professor misses the intellectual stimulation. Forgive me, I should have written it down. It occurs to me that I have yet to ask why you needed that crystal. You aren't planning anything nefarious, are you? 'Twould reflect poorly on me and my research if it was used for evil ends. Ah, well, perhaps it's best I remain ignorant. I didn't become the professor's greatest pupil by filling my head with unnecessary information. Greetings, madam. Do you wish to proceed to your vessel? All repairs and modifications have been completed, Onion. Once you bring me that crystal, nothing will stand between us and Garuda. I'll need to run some tests to be sure, but this looks to be exactly what we need. Worry not, Onion. I'll see that your hard work doesn't go to waste. The Enterprise is already more than a common airship. But mark my words, soon it will become something greater, something extraordinary. This is me. This is what I was born to do.
Alright, we're going to pause here. I think the next part is actually getting to Garuda and a lot more of the main story quest. Alright, we'll see you the next one. Thanks.